Hey, everybody, welcome into another episode of Warp Factor 10, our show about all things Star Trek. So, of course, our Star Trek Lower Decks breakdown for Season 3, Episode 7. So, you see you see Peanut Hamper. So, Peanut Hamper is back, obviously, from Season 1. There was an episode in Season 1, and so at the beginning of this episode, uh, yeah, this Exobot is back. So anyway, before we get into it, though, I just want to welcome, of course, my co-host Burley. And how you doing, Burley? Doing good?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
You tricked me. You said we weren't going to have to talk about this episode.
Hey, yeah. Well, I feel bad because we also, for all of you that maybe don't know, we also do a show on for Marvel called the Marvelous Marvel Discussion Arena, and we've been skipping a couple of the She-Hulk episodes. Of course, we're going to be doing a season-ending breakdown of She-Hulk season 1, but I figure we should stay consistent with Star Trek here, definitely. So. Anyway, before we get into what we're going to break down about the episode, just want to let all of you know, and of course there is Beckett Mariner there, and the spoiler alert, so that means we are going to be talking a ton of spoilers in this episode, this breakdown episode of Star Trek Lower Decks Season 3, Episode 7. So if you have not watched the video, please go and watch it before watching our breakdown here on this episode. Okay, so that is your spoiler warning, so be forewarned. Okay, Burley, let's get into it. Let's get back to the beginning, and we get kind of that, like, ode to Castaway. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was the funniest part of it, I guess, in a sense. But obviously we get the background from Season 1, obviously, and the Titan comes and... tractor beams out the Cerritos and everything, and this of course this Exobot here, Peanut Hamper, is left by herself, I guess you could say, and so she creates her own little Wilson, in a sense, but she's able to create this little warp speed machine to be able to get out of the rubble and everything. So she had been in that rubble, I guess, for months. But anyway, she gets out of it. Anyway, what did you think of the opening sequences and the Castaway reference?
Yeah, the opening, I did find it kind of funny. They're like, "Oh, come on, Peanut, you need to sacrifice yourself and save us." She's like, I ain't sacrificing myself to save you.
Yeah.
And then just abandoning them in their hour of need.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little Wilson thing, yeah, there was that reference. I'm not a fan of Castaway. I saw that movie in the theaters, and I remember it was like 3 weeks before I was supposed to go on first time ever on an airplane. And let's just say that did not make me want to go on an airplane.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, the thing about this episode, man, is we get Peanut Hamper like the whole episode. And that's kind of what I have to say. I was a little disappointed with this episode in the sense that we didn't get the main crew. I mean, the last episode was, to me, the best episode of the entire season so far. Of course, going to Deep Space Nine, we got the Deep Space Nine episode, and that was really cool. And then we get this. And the main characters of the show we only get for like 5 minutes, it seems, toward the end of the episode. But anyway, we're going to get to that. But let's move on. So, Peanut Hamper on her little warp drive thing gets to another planet. And obviously, this planet is supposedly a pre-warp society, and all of the creatures on this planet are basically, they have like owl-shaped faces, and they have wings, of course, so they can fly. But so Peanut Hamper is basically kind of making fun of them in a sense, and run into some situations where she has to use like her replicator to heal, and basically breaking the Prime Directive in every which way. So what did you think of that, Burley?
Yeah, like, it's kind of nice to see for once breaking the prime directives instead of, we need to stick to it. But
Mhm.
I'm going to be honest, this is a character I could give two shits about.
Uh-huh.
It was not a character I cared about.
Peanut Hamper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean,
I did love the little joke of like the father is dying from this snake guy, Venom, and he just instantly heals him. It was like, Peanut heals him, and it was like, oh yeah, you're also having a vitamin deficiency, so I took care of that too.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we get this other race, obviously, that comes in like they're in the beginning of the episode, but they come back later, and they're basically trying to take scrap in space and other technologies and stuff, and we're gonna get to that. But I mean, you get Peanut Hamper. She just basically she doesn't care about these people in a sense. She's just trying to get away from Starfleet, basically.
Yeah.
And but then she starts to have this relationship with the I guess the leader's son, so to speak, who you see here holding Peanut Hamper and everything. And you think that Peanut Hamper is changing, and then she's like, I want to be with you guys now, but it doesn't turn out that way, does it?
Yeah. Yeah, and then you get the wedding.
The wedding thing, yeah, and she, of course, replicates a beak and all. And there's like these, like, they're kind of like sex type of scenes and stuff like that, intimacy scenes and stuff, which I didn't like that. I just didn't care for that. Yeah, go ahead, Burley.
That literally was okay, I can pause this. I can go get myself a refreshment.
Yeah.
Come back to this. That's what I did. I literally okay, just pause this, go get a refreshment, come back and start drinking refreshment to get through this.
Yeah, so the Drukmani, basically, they get to the planet, and later on in the episode, and of course the leader's son obviously takes Peanut Hamper to this kind of like a facility where obviously Peanut Hamper finds out that they were basically a warp type of society, but they shunned all of technology basically because they felt like they were losing their ways. And then it's like she just completely does a 360, personality wise. And it's like, well, I don't care about you guys anymore. I want to get out of here. And then she sends out the distress signal. And then of course we get, our crew that gets the distress signal, obviously, Captain Freeman and all, and you see Beckett there and Boimler and everything. And so they go to the planet and everything. And it seems like, that Peanut Hamper is going to get redeemed and all, even though that she's broken pretty much every bit of the Prime Directive and all. But she seems to, you think that she saves them, the people and all, from, of course, the Drukmani that were just destroying basically the whole village and the planet to get the tractor beam and to beam out all of these ships, that they had, just basically hidden away. And and then of course one of the ships is taken out, and then they start attacking the Cerritos, and the Cerritos take some pretty heavy damage actually, but then it's like Peanut Hamper seems to be like the savior to come and save the day and all, but then she goes back and it's like she just does another 360, and basically it's like, I don't want to be a part of this. I just want to do things for myself. And hell, I'm gonna contact the Borg so that they'll assimilate all of you. It's just the story, which is, I'll just say one more thing here, Burley, about this. Of course, the episode's title is A Mathematically Perfect Redemption. There is no redemption in this story. There is no redemption. I mean, the Peanut Hamper, what does she do? She ends up basically on the megalomaniacal computer storage facility, which that just in itself just bewilders me, because I mean, why didn't they just turn her off. Just completely disconnect her. I mean, but she ends up in this facility, and now she's teamed up with Agamus. And Agamus, of course, was in a prior episode as well of Lower Decks. And so they're probably going to, in a future episode, maybe in a future season, they're going to have them team up, and they're going to, probably do something to the Federation or whatnot. They're gonna have this team up. So I didn't get it. I mean, it's like the name of the episode when it comes to redemption just doesn't make any sense here. Go ahead, your thoughts, man.
The name makes no sense. I agree 100% with you on that. And then just taking her and sticking her there with all the other robots that are evil, and they're all on.
Yeah.
That is just so bad writing. And that is like, look, we're gonna bring this character back. Wink.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, like, no, you've been good so far. Did you guys was this episode written by the guys that wrote Picard? Because that's how I can explain this episode. Like, if you tell me we let them write one episode for this show, but the regular team took 1 week off, didn't write this episode, the Picard team wrote this one. I could at least buy and believe that.
Yeah, I'll give them a pass though. I mean, this is just one episode. I mean, the whole season, in a whole has been amazing so far. So, I mean, this one, probably a lot of people didn't like so much or had conflicts with it. I don't know. Let us know in the comments. Let us know what you thought of this episode. Was it the worst episode of the season so far, in your opinion? Or if you really enjoyed it, what did you enjoy about this episode? Let us know. Are you a fan of Peanut Hamper? Let us know. I have to say, though, the voice...
if so, why are you a fan?
Yeah, but the voice actress, though, is amazing. I mean, the voice acting was really good.
Good job.
Yes, so I have to say that. But anyway, so let us know in the comments what you thought of this episode. So this has been our breakdown of Season 3, Episode 7 of Star Trek Lower Decks here on Warp Factor 10, our show about all things Star Trek here on the Arena Productions. So I've been your host, and I am the founder of the Arena Productions Expat, along with my co-host, Burley. So we hope to catch you in the next episode of Warp Factor 10 and our breakdowns of Star Trek Lower Decks. So until then, till the next episode, take care, everyone. Peace out.